the injector rail. So as we can see here, they are kind of crummy. This O-ring in particular has, well, pretty much no sealing left on it, so that was probably a vacuum leak, or about to be one. The engine bay torn apart. Okay, let's go over what I've found so far. The themaculator valves, which hook in here, both valves leak, can't replace them. So I've traced the vacuum lines going to their solenoid there and disabled that. Those are hooked in to this little junction right there. All these are separate, right? So I'm still going to keep the junction there. I've traced these out. These go to the manifold. This is the fuel pressure regulator. This goes to the HVAC system right here. This one goes to the vacuum pod. So we can see vacuum pod here, the big black wire right there, vacuum pod. And it has some things that come off of it, which is the... this one goes to the fuel vapor, whatever, blah, blah, blah thing. By the way, that valve leaks. So, yeah, I'm not trying to go in and just disable a bunch of stuff, but that valve leaks. Well, how much is that going to cost to make a valve that has zero to do with drivability, functionality, or power production of the vehicle? Nothing. So, I'll disable that. This is the EGR. I think I have to keep it, so I'll have to buy that one valve. I think the computer will get unhappy if it doesn't have that on there. So anyways, the vacuum pod still works. This one right here is the other one that comes off of this T right here, right? So that goes to power the EGR. So I'm going to keep those on there. Like I said, I'll have to block the EGR off for now because I don't have that solenoid in there. But that's what I'm in the process of doing. I'll leave that on there, leave it plugged in, but I won't run the vacuum to it. And the one that I repaired to try to make everything back factory, this right here, we'll leave it unhooked and take it off or whatever, and then plug the intake manifold on that. So, well, I'll get some good fuel line back anyway. Right now, I'm working on replacing this green line because it has a patch on it, right? And then the black one that comes off of there, I need to match it up and get it plugged back in. Do some not convolute tubing, but some vacuum hose, vacuum line, or whatever I got laying around for that. I have a bunch of the red and a bunch of the white from earlier that I could use for that setup right there. So anyways, that's a little update this Saturday morning. Once I get that situated, I'm going to go in, pull the fuel rails out, the injectors. I fully expect that every single clip will break because that's just what they do. And I'll get the injectors, the wires off of them, clean those up, make sure they look pretty good, get the injectors out. Then I can go in and clean those, do O-rings, clean out the fuel rail and all that. Well, that's depending on if I can get these quick connects off, because ain't nothing quick about disconnecting them, right? But anyways, I'm trying to keep everything intact, so if someone did want to go through and put some of these things back on for some weird reason, they could. Because the hardware is still in the same locations there. The valves leak, and yeah. I don't know how much that one is. I did see that, so I could replace that, but there's just no value added in doing it. It's just putting money into it on something I'm trying to sell that, like I said, does zero for drivability, dependability, or performance. Okay, I cleaned out the idle air. I think the valve is leaky. It's better. I got a lot of crud out. What I did, I just poured some of this motor treatment, Harvest King. It's the same as like the Berryman's or Seafoam or whatever, and it's poured it into my little cup right there and got a lot of crud out of it. Then I just kind of manually operated the valve with a screwdriver. So it just doesn't look like it's closing good. The motor could just be in that position too, maybe why it's not doing that, but that's as good as that's going to get. It probably needs replaced. I checked vacuum on the EGR valve. It holds vacuum and operates, so no problems there. And the throttle body, haven't got to clean it up, but this is the throttle position sensor. You can see there's oil residue, probably coming from this gasket here. I forgot where I put that one. I can't remember if it was oily or not, but the intake gasket, as you can see, right, go upside down. That was leaking there and getting all over that. So I need to clean that. If this is bad, it could cause an issue as well because it thinks that you're open throttle or closed throttle when you're not, vice versa. So it also needs to be in the right position too. The only way I know to do that is actually have voltage hooked up to it, not 12 volt. That'll be 0 to 5 volt. So I'll have to get that key on and then go in there and adjust that so it's the right voltage with the throttle blades closed. Yeah, we lost our light. I was up in here and I went to get out and I hit my head on it, fell down, and well, you kind of know the story, sweat in the eyeballs. But anyways, the fuel connectors back there, they come out pretty easy. They're different than the other ones down on the other line, but it's kind of the same principle there. You see they got 2 O-rings in there and the snap ring. Now I did soak them real good with the PB Blaster or the Harvest King park breaker, whatever, you know, soak them real good. Got all the injector clips off. I don't think any of them were broke. The bolts that hold the injector rail on, there's 4 of them. If I get the injector wire all the way, I don't know if you can see that. I can't see the screen, but there's 4 bolts, one there, one there. Be easier to see there, and that one right there. Those all come loose. I brought them forward, like tightening just a hair until it moved a little bit, and then pulled them back. Same thing, I soaked that down good. So I think I'm going to have to go ahead and pull the distributor out to get the fuel rail out. It's sitting super close. I've already had the distributor out because the pickup wires were coming out the back side and coming around. I didn't like that. So I'm going to have to retime everything anyway. I got that close. I did find the timing mark. It's buried way down there. So if you go to shoot a timing light, you have to be... Oh wait, that don't work. Maybe that work. Oh, right there. You have to shoot it right through there. So I'm probably going to go ahead and just retime everything. I don't even know if the timing was right to begin with, but we're going to make it right. So still on disassembly. I'm done for now. I'm going to go get a shower Saturday morning here, and it's already hot and sweaty. So I'm going to get a shower, get some coffee, and relax and not think about it for a little while. Okay, back, and the light is up there, but it needs recharged. Kind of went down a notch. Yeah, not doing much right now. Anyways, injector rail is off. As you can see, the distributor's out. Put it up on top dead center. I did find the timing mark down there, cleaned that up real good, so we're at 14 degrees advance by the timing mark. Of course, still got my rag on here to keep gunk out of there. That surface has to be cleaned, and I want to clean around these. I've already shop vac around here real good and got a lot of the crud out, but I want to clean up this boss face in there and then get the light in there good and make sure we don't have any crud in those holes. This is as far as I plan on tearing this down. From here, it's going to be cleaned and put back together. I didn't find anything wrong with any of the injector clips. Let's go check out the injectors. Yeah, I just think they need a little bit of loving on them. And see what we get with that. Go ahead and blow this rail out real good. That's what I wanted to do when I did the fuel filter and I couldn't get that stinking return line off, so yeah. All right, that's where we're at on cleanup now. Okay, let's go over some injectors. So this injector is typical of a Fox Mustang, like 89 Mustang, or pretty much all the Mustang injectors. And so you see that it has the orange on it right there, and we have a single, right here, a single outlet for the fuel to come out of, so it'll spray its cone out of there. Alright, what is on the 96 F150 is almost identical. It has the same plug, right? So we can compare plugs, same color. But this one right here, you had the same body size, forgot to say that. This one has 4 holes, little tiny holes right in there, which does a really good spray pattern on there. Another thing that can be an upgrade is this is like a 96 Explorer, so same plug right there, small body style, but yet it also has the 4 holes in there for better spray pattern. Okay, here's an injector. I got one of them out of fuel rail right there. As you can see, it needs to be cleaned up a little bit on the body side of that. I also have the pintle cap pulled off, which is this little piece right here, and the O-ring pulled off, and it has a little backer spacer on there as well. On this side where that hole is, that's where the filter goes right there. So I did manage to get this little baby filter out of there, and I'm going to be cleaning all that stuff up. The kit I'm using, these are about $2 each right here. So you'll be, let's just say with shipping, $20 to get this kit. So that has both O-rings, the spacer, and the pintle cap. And since I'm going to be cleaning the little filter screen, these be pretty good. So I'm going to do that on all 8 of these, and that should get it looking pretty good. Okay, you're all assembled. Got our new O-rings on both sides. I've cleaned the fuel rail up right here. Got all the corrosion and stuff out of it. Blew it out real good, cleaned it out real good. And this is ready to reinstall. Got a little bit of dielectric grease on the little caps right there. Look like I need to put a little bit more in there. That way it keeps all the moisture out of these connections right here. And then we'll be ready to install.